Hello everyone, my name is Xenos Forever, and as you may know, I actually started playing Middle-earth: Shadow of War a while back. Hopefully you can actually hear me a bit better now because I finally got Audacity downloaded again. And I realized that the camera is absolute crap. New laptop, it's better in almost every way from my old one, but the camera is still a piece of shit. Oh wait, that's right. I can use my bleep again because it's not as much of a pain with the... Anyway, so this is my review of Middle-earth: Shadow of War. Now, for the record, let's see. No wait, that's still on. Is it? Oh, okay, that updated. But anyways, it's daylight saving time just ended. But anyways, so about 2 minutes ago, I just finished the main campaign for Middle-earth: Shadow of War, and these are my thoughts on it. First, the gameplay. It's still fun. I mean, it's a bit easier in some regards than using a keyboard, but then again, I was playing on PS4. I mean, maybe some PC players could use a keyboard. I mean, I'm not sure if my friend Ted, who I've mentioned repeatedly over the course of my channel, anyways, Ted, I don't know if he uses his X-Bone controller or his keyboard, but with the PS4 controller, I felt it was easier to work with than the keyboard because not as many buttons to worry about. For example, you just press square to attack instead of this. The directional pads have different effects. For example, the left button summons your current equipped mount, such as a Caragor, a Graug, or a Drake. But anyways, I'm just talking about the controls. I felt that a controller was easier for the most part, except during the end game. But I'll get to that in a minute, and I'll let you know when I start spoiling things in the things. But anyway, so the gameplay I felt was pretty solid. I mean, I did hear someone refer to it as Arkham Asylum-esque when I was in my Shakespeare class. I mean, yeah, I mean, they even said during one of their early dev diaries that it was heavily inspired by Arkham Asylum. Plus, hang on a sec. Here we are. You look right there. Hang on a sec. It's trying to. You see right there? There's the Warner Brothers shield. Both of them, both the Arkham series and the Middle-earth Shadow series, well, are owned by Warner Brothers. So the gameplay, I'd say, is really solid. And of course, what is the Shadow series without the Nemesis system? Which I honestly felt was quite hollow this time around. As much as I love the Nemesis system in the first game, this time I didn't feel as engaged in it. The only Uruk I didn't want to die was Moog the Tark Slayer. This crazy son of a bitch who was the first to kill me. I think that was after I stopped recording, but yeah, I played through all of it. I just wanted to play like the first 2 hours, I guess, but then I just didn't want to stop playing. The Nemesis system is addictive. The gameplay is fun, but the Nemesis system felt kind of hollow this time around. Maybe it's because I spoiled myself with Luga. I mean, when I went through Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, there was only one Uruk who I wanted dead more than anything else. Luga, cool lover. I mean, you guys. I mean, he even made it on my number. He made it my number 2 best boss. I mean, but then again, no one here is really making that list. Just no one in Middle-earth: Shadow of War really stood out. Like, maybe there was this one Olog, Azagur the Skinner, who I let kill me to get one of the achievements. But, other than that, no one really stood out. Just Moog the Tark Slayer, because as soon as I stepped back into Kira Thungal, Manfilth! Remember me! I'm still alive! Obviously, he didn't say that, but, there was also the tower. I believe it was Grook or Glook. I don't remember, but he actually died during the 10th round of the end game, which really sucks. I mean, I lost the tower, but oh yeah, minor spoiler for I think occasionally you can actually find an Uruk who stole the tower's armor off of him. I found mine within the first few minutes of being in Nurnen, but... Anyways, so, gameplay I'd still say is solid. The Nemesis system, I guess because of Luga, I'm just not as into it this time. I mean, I just keep hoping that someone is going to come around to just constantly stab the crap out of me so I can come back and get them again, only for them to turn around and stab me again. It just, no one is to Luga's level. It just, maybe it's because I've gotten better, maybe it's because I'm playing at a higher frame rate, but... So, and then there's also one last key feature of the game, the marketplace. As I said, this is unacceptable. Microtransactions in a single-player game that's $60 minimum. For me, I paid $100 for this. Plus tax, because I live in New York, but that's irrelevant right now. $100 for a marketplace. I mean, seriously, if you're gonna give us in-game loot, why would you do that? I know. This wasn't Monolith, it was and for that, I'm actually putting Warner Brothers on my blacklist. That's right. Warner Brothers is blacklisted by me. As well as EA because of all the crap that they've done recently, as well as their Player First campaign going straight down the toilet. Yeah, so I'm blackballing EA and Warner Brothers, but that's, again, I digress. So the marketplace. I didn't buy anything from the marketplace. I just took whatever free shit they wanted to give me from either a Spoils of War chest or a community challenge chest or a Vendetta completion chest. Sure, give me free shit. I'm fine with you giving me free shit. But then we get to this problem. I don't have a gambling addiction, but there's gonna be some poor sap out there who just gambles away a $300 effortlessly trying to get something awesome. And if you guys remember, one of the legendary war chiefs I got in my pre-order bonus was mortally sickly. He dies instantly from poison. I mean, what the f***? So if it wasn't for the marketplace, I would have given the gameplay an effortless 9 out of 10. But with the marketplace, I'm gonna have to knock that down to 7. So I'm probably gonna have 4 to let's see. I know I have a pen over here somewhere. Here we are. Just give me a sec. So with the marketplace, I'm gonna put the gameplay down to a. I should have put this on beforehand, but it didn't start hurting until just now. Anyways, so the gameplay is down to a 7 out of 10, thanks to the marketplace. Now, for the graphics, the game is beautiful as all hell. I mean, the Karagors, the Graugs, the Drakes, the Orcs, the Ologs, it's just, oh my god, it is so goddamn beautiful. I mean, maybe I'm just saying that because I'm used to really shitty graphics well, not this particularly, but on laptops in general. I'm just used to really, really bad graphics. I mean, I'm actually playing The Witcher 3 right now, and it's at 20 frames per second, I believe, so I can actually see all the little errors, like lip syncing is a little off, like a... Pen dropped. Lip syncing's a little off. The graphics look kind of wrong in some places. For example, the goat that belongs to the Christ, what was the guy's? Anyways, it was like the shaman that you have to let you learn about the botchling from. I mean, the goat looked kind of unfinished, but again, I'm playing at like 20 frames per second, so I'm not going to review The Witcher 3. Anyways, but the game is gorgeous. There's still the day and night cycle that I actually forgot about from Shadow of Mordor because I died so often. I thought it just changed when you died. Kind of like this Game Boy Color or Wario game my cousin gave me years ago. Oh Christ, I don't even remember what Wario it was, but No, not Mario, as in it was Wario, like one of Wario's games. But anyways, the game is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. It's stunning. I mean, if it snows in Saragost, it actually creates something of a blizzard. And the game is beautiful. I'm just gonna stop right there because if I keep going about it, I mean, even I can see some beauty in the bland areas like Cirith Ungol or Minas Morgul. Even Gorgoroth has some beauty to me. And I'm colorblind. My vision is not nearly as good as everyone else's. I may have 1620, but that does not mean that that my definition of beauty is the same. But anyways, this game is gorgeous to look at. The sound design is pretty good as well. Sorry, I've got a bit of a headache coming on. But anyways, the sound design is great. Similar to the first game. I just wish that there was more music to it, like more ambient stuff, like you'd find in, say, The Witcher or Skyrim or I had something. I had another thing, but I forgot what it was. Like just the ambient music. Like Lord of the Rings Online, another game that, well, it was at one point Warner Brothers, but I think they've just handed it off to Standing Stone completely and no longer have any association with it. But anyways, the game is phenomenally beautiful. I'd give that a 9 effortlessly. So you know what? So for graphics and music, it gets a 9 effortlessly. Hey, what the? I hate touchpads so much. I just apparently Now then, let's talk about the story. So the story in Shadow of Mordor was kind of weak. It felt like it felt like filler while you were messing around with the Nemesis system. Like the Nemesis system was the actual story. You were building your own goddamn story with the different Uruks you come across, like Ratanak the Immovable, who I like to call the Indomitable. You've got Luga Ghoul-Lover. You've got Grisha the Wise. No wait, was Grisha the Wise or no? Wait, Gura the Wise and Grisha the Fearful. But I mean, it felt like the story should have been the back seat to the Nemesis system. And it kind of was. Again, in the story here, well, you've got different stories entirely. You've got the Gondor quests, where you're helping Baranor and what's her name, Idril, rescue Gondorians from the forces of Mordor throughout the other 4 regions: Cirith Ungol, Gorgoroth, Saragost, and Nurnen. You've got the Carnan quests, where you actually have to you actually work with the forest spirit Carnan to take down Tar-Goroth, who was pretty big in the advertising. Let's see, you've got the Eltariel quests, where you work with Eltariel to stifle the grasp of the Witch King and his Nazgul. You've got the Bruz quests. I'm sure everyone knows Bruz the Chopper from the Bruise Your Shadow pound sign thingy. I'm just trying to think. So yeah, the quests are fun to some degree, but then... Okay, I'm entering spoilers right now, so I'll put once I'm done editing the video, I'll put a timer. I'll put a time right here you can skip to. So, this is your last chance. Okay? Alright, so for those of you who are sticking around for the spoilers, the statute of spoilation has not expired yet. For this, I'd say like maybe 6 months. But anyway, so let's start with the Gondorian quests. It's kind of your standard fare. It's kind of like the slave rescue missions from the first game, except there's more story to them. It's not just like, go here, free the slaves, get your reward. You actually do hear a bit from Baranor and Idril while you're going through the world. That explains the headache. It's starting to rain. Anyways, so it is kind of bland, but it does end on a bit of a happy note with Idril and Baranor saying that they'll stay in Mordor together and face the doom. Now let's see, what else? There's Bruz's quest, which is infuriating once you get past the, But first off, who remembers Ratbag the Coward? He's back! Ratbag is back. For those of you who don't know, Ratbag was kind of your introduction to the Nemesis system in the first game. And he's back, and he kind of gives you, well, he kind of helps you with the Bruz quest by helping you unlock the worse than death ability, which is pretty nasty. You know how, so with shaming, you reduce the target's level by 5 or so. With worse than death, you actually reduce it by twice as much. I think maybe about half their level can be gone at one point. And then there's also a greater chance for them to go crazy, becoming deranged, which, for example, Tugog the Shamed, one of the orcs I have in, Kirithungol, that's seriously all he does now because he became deranged. And then there's also the chance for them to become a maniac with the worse than death, which just skyrockets their level well above yours. But anyway, so with the Bruz quests, Bruz basically backstabs you. I just said it right there. Like I said, this is spoilers. All spoilers. So Bruz backstabs you. And throws you off the tower in your Nurnen fortress. Before taking it over, and now Ratbag has to help you get back at him. But because he's Ratbag the Coward, well, he more or less helps indirectly. He scouts things out for you and helps you find his Olog companion nicknamed Ranger. Although it does have a bit of a funny end with Ratbag and Ranger being reunited, and Ratbag not understanding a word of what Ranger says. Ranger actually says, "You idiots, learn some black speech, you're embarrassing me." Of course he says it in black speech, and Ratbag takes it to, "I missed you, old friend." And then, of course, you unlock Worse Than Death by breaking Bruz's mind. Seriously, that's how you... And he just goes, he just keeps muttering to himself, "You can have the fort. I don't want the fort. I never wanted the bloody fort." And actually, it ends with Ranger saying, "In common tongue, you're a cruel one, bright lord." So then, let's talk about Carnan and Targoroth, the absolute disappointment of Balrogs. Maybe I've been spoiled by Balrogs. Maybe the Balrog I saw when I was 9 years old in Moria. Durin's Bane, that was epic. I mean, just seeing the Balrog burst from the flames and challenge Gandalf. And Gandalf, I believe, actually died briefly after defeating Durin's Bane. Then there's the Balrog in the Rift of Ner's-Gashu in Lord of the Rings Online. That was incredible. I mean, you barely stand a chance without the Ancient Elf. If she dies, it's basically a party wipe, I think. I only did it once. But it takes 12 people to get through the Rift of Ner's-Gashu. And that's also to get to the Balrog at the end. I forget what his name is. Whereas Targoroth is a f***ing kaiju fight! Seriously, this is something you'd see in an early Godzilla movie. Carnan summons a Graug for you. Like some sort of terrestrial Graug. To just bash Targoroth around with. It is just painful to go through. Just, no. You turned one of the coolest monsters of Middle-earth into a beat-em-up. A rock'em sock'em robots thing. Of course, that's just the introduction to Targoroth. He's another quest where you actually have to fight him on a frozen lake. So, first off, Carnan turns into a Caragor, and you have to ride her. You have to ride the Caragor all the way through the cave, dropping icicles on Targoroth, hoping that you can slow him down enough before he tries to kill you. Carnan can only take 3 hits before it's game over. Annoyingly enough, I mean, Carnan's a spirit of nature. But then you actually fight him atop Carnan as a drake. And this is awesome. I kept expecting Targoroth to just burst out of the ice in another section of the quest line. He didn't. You get Targoroth for all of 2 quests. You use the coolest monster and then replace him with a necromancer, Zog. Because honestly, Zog. Zog, I mean, he was billed as being this cool guy that jumped into the Nemesis system. He doesn't jump into the Nemesis system. He's just quest after quest after quest. He's not a Nemesis. Anyways, so with that, you actually have to kill Zog. And the one cool part about this quest, other than Targoroth on top of an icy lake, fighting him on top of a drake, was at the end of the quest line when Zog resurrects so many of your fallen nemesis. I saw so many familiar faces. I was like, oh my god, you're back and you're undead. Oh crap, I gotta deal with you again? I mean, I was already out my last chances by the time I got to Zog himself, so I'd be extremely careful. I just resorted to a hit and run tactic on him. Of course, Zog, being the Eternal, doesn't die that easily, and during the end game, I actually saw him again while I was fighting Ukbuk the Machine as an ambush, and then suddenly, you can't kill me! I can keep coming back for more! And then he retreated. While I was trying to recover from dealing with the machine. I already burned through my last chances, so I kind of had to resort. And plus the machine was harder to beat. But anyways, I didn't find Zog again. I guess he'll just show up at some point if I'm arsing around when the DLC drops, because I've already got that thanks to the Gold Edition. But anyways, so Zog was a huge letdown from Targoroth. No. And then we've got Eltariel. Okay, we've got an assassin working with Galadriel who saves us from the Nazgul. Except she is useless. I mean, the curse that, say, Suladan inflicts in the Minas Morgul quest is negligible. Just sap a few Uruks, you'll be fine. But Eltariel is worse than useless, and it only takes a few hits for her to go down and say, I need some help over here, I need some help over here, please, Ranger, help me! If you want Ranger to help you, go find Ratbag, you stupid bitch! Obviously, I don't like Eltariel. I mean, yes, she looks nice, she has cool weapons, but the fact that she is useless in combat really puts me off. And then, well, you know what happens after you complete all this, when you complete all the other quests in Eltariel's line? She betrays you! I am not kidding. Celebrimbor takes the ring that's been keeping you alive all this time, well, when he wasn't attached to you, and gives it to Eltariel, leaving you to die. So you're stuck putting on the ring of, wait for it, Isildur! Okay, I get it. This is just taking the lore, going a little far with it, but Isildur as a Nazgul! Are you out of your minds? Okay, I'm not as well versed in Tolkien lore as my friend Ted is, but when I told him that Isildur was one of the 9, he just lost it. Oh my god. Isildur as one of the 9. The guy that lopped off Sauron's fingers and took the ring from it. That is bloody unacceptable. I'm sorry, but I suppose we can give you a pass for, say, Helm Hammerhand, the guy that Helm's Deep is named after because he's an ancient king. Maybe Suladan because I don't know Suladan. Ted said he was familiar with the name. But anyways, but Isildur coming back as a ring wraith. Okay, first off, Warner Brothers. Are you forgetting something? For Lord of the Rings Online, you created a new breed of wraith, the Kargul, the Red Wraiths, created by the Nazgul, but then again, I guess you don't have any hands in Lord of the Rings Online anymore, do you? That is Isildur. Of all people, Isildur! No. And then, after Celebrimbor betrays you, you take Isildur's ring, take control of Minas Morgul. And Celebrimbor and Eltariel go to fight Sauron himself, which is actually a pretty well done boss battle, as opposed to, say, the Witch King of Angmar, which is more or less just a dodge fest. You have to parry, dodge. I didn't buy this game to play Dark Souls. Okay, obviously that's a bit of a cheap shot, but at any rate, this is just Sauron is a well done boss. First you fight him in his fair form, you know, you fight him in fair form first, and then he goes to this form everyone knows, the giant metal suit with a mace. And if you're not careful, he's gonna wreck you into next week. And then of course because Celebrimbor is prideful as all hell, he tries to dominate Sauron and ends up screwing up big time. Not only does Eltariel lose 2 of her fingers, the 2 that the ring are on, well, 1 that the ring is on, and then another finger. It's either these 2 or these 2. I don't remember which fingers it was, but anyways, he also, I'm not sure if you remember at the end of Shadow of Mordor, but when during the end sequence against the Hand, or whatever he is, the last Black Captain, he actually steals Celebrimbor away, returning him as a part of Sauron. But Celebrimbor, you idiot! If you were already a part of Sauron, doesn't that mean that the rest is gonna absorb you? It's like Muso in Inuyasha. Kana, Kagra, Jiromaru, Kageromaru. I think Muso's the 5th incarnation. It's the 5th incarnation of Naraku. But, anyways, he's arrogant enough to think that he can take on Naraku, and Naraku reabsorbs him. Pride goes before the fall, right? Anyways, so that's a bit embarrassing, because I knew that was going to happen, that Celebrimbor would lose horribly, maybe be banished to the Wraith World, but anyways. And then we get to the end game, where Talion has to fight off the advances of the Lord of Mordor, in other words, Sauron. But then comes this bit. You have to go through 20 different siege stages, each one a bit harder than the last. Well, it's 10 stages with different sieges in each one. You have to defend different forts in different waves, but anyways. And then the ending, where Talion defends against the Shadow for decades before finally giving in. Because he's wearing Isildur's ring, for so long, he defies the Shadow, but then becomes a Nazgul. And then you actually see him briefly after the ring has been destroyed, when he gets hit by he's actually one of the Nazgul that gets taken out by the explosion of Mount Doom. You know that scene from the end of Return of the King, right? But anyways, so, and then it has sort of Talion walking into the afterlife sort of cutscene there. But alright, so I'm gonna say right here, this is the end of the spoilers, so all in all, I'd say that the story is a bit stronger than the last time around, but it just feels kind of it still feels kind of tissue paper thin. It just feels like it'll fall apart at any second, especially as you watch Celebrimbor degrade from noble warrior, noble craftsman, to just arrogant son of a bitch. So, yeah, I guess the story was a bit stronger this time around, but it was still kind of weak. So, I'm gonna give this story... I mean, the story was stronger, yeah. I mean... And you actually do run into a few faces afterwards that you would encounter in there, but... I'd have to give the story I'd have to give the story a 7. So, there's that. Alright, so... Of course, right now it's standing at about maybe, let's see, 14 plus 9, that's 23, divide that by 3, so it's about... So let's give it another category. I guess let's just call this the Goodwill category. Although, I never had a bodyguard save my hide. I mean, I'm sure you've seen, like, all sorts of crap, like, suddenly one of your Uruks comes along and just beats the crap out of the guy that's trying to kill you. That never happened to me. I mean, maybe because I didn't assign a bodyguard often enough, or maybe because I just didn't have that kind of good luck, or maybe it's just random generated. But there's also one thing that I didn't see, which I really wish I could. Forthog Orc Slayer. I really wish I could have seen Forthog at least once. So, I guess maybe give the Goodwill maybe an 8. Now, you know what? Scrap the Goodwill category. So, this is my final rating. So, for gameplay, it was a 7. It would have been a 9 if it wasn't for the market and how pathetic it was. I mean, I sent a legend. I got another legendary Uruk from one of the Spoils of War chests. He went on a Graug hunting mission. I believe he had. I believe he was strong against beasts. He died. The legendary Uruks are not worth your time if you get them from pack. They're not worth jack. So 7 for gameplay, 9 for graphics, and 7 for story. Give me a moment. My final score would be a 7.6 repeating out of 10. It's a real damn shame that the market just sullies it so much. I mean, because without that, it would be, well, I guess because I still think the story's kind of weak, it would be an 8.3 out of 10 for me. But anyways, so 7.6, I guess that's okay, but anyways, that's my take on the game. So maybe it's because I was disappointed in some areas. Maybe it's because it felt kind of hollow towards the end. I mean, without spoiling anything further, it just feels lonely, and just not like an empty lonely, but like a sad lonely. I guess I just lost enjoyment once the end game started. But anyways, that's my take on it. I know my hat's been off for most of it, but that's because, well, I just didn't really see any point in wearing it for, just a review. Well, as much. But anyways, so thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, or if you have anything you want to say, please click on... I've been doing that for over a year, and I still screw it up every now and then. Please, click the like button down below. It very much helps. If you want to say anything, please leave a comment. Say what you think of the game. Like, who was your best? Who did you not want dead? Who did you want to kill the most? And as always, I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, live long and prosper, and not be damaged. not you, the other one. Yes, you. Are you looking for a good read? Then please consider picking up Duster, the debut novel by everyone's favorite madman. Excluding the Joker.